Hi, I'm Joan Henry Gates, and I'm here with Real Women of Philadelphia, and it's dessert week. Today I'm going to be making my chocolate 3-layer cream pie. First of all, I'm going to start with store-bought graham cracker crust. It's a 6-ounce crust. And the next layer, the first layer on top of the graham crackers, what I'm going to start with is a little bit of chocolate. I've bought 63% cocoa chocolate. It's from Mexico, I believe. And I have a half a cup of chips that I've melted on the stove. Now, to that, I'm going to add 4 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese. I'm going to stir that in. That melts right up. Then I'm going to add, this is a half a cup of ground, they're called cocoa roasted almonds, and I've ground them in my food processor till they're fine. I'm going to throw that in. We'll keep these warm. And then once you get that all stirred in, I'm going to plop that on my graham cracker crust. Now I'm going to put it in dollops and then smooth it around. I noticed that with my store-bought graham cracker crust, it tends to crack up when I just try to smooth it. So we're going to, pardon my fingers, smooth that all around so it just covers the bottom. Nobody's going to see this layer from this angle. There we go. That's all it. Now, my next layer is going to be my vanilla cream layer. So what I start with is I put my mixing bowl in the freezer to make sure it's nice and chilled, and my wire whip, and 1½ cups of heavy cream. And I'll pour that right into the bowl, and we'll start that whipping. Of course, I picked the hottest day of the year. I think when we began this, we thought it'd never stop snowing here in central New York. But today, I think it's the hottest day we've had yet. So let's see if the cream whips. Turn it right up on high. Once this starts to create like a soft heat, just to, starts to bubble up like that, I'm going to add to the mixture 4 tablespoons of confectionery sugar. I've got 2 teaspoons of vanilla because I want this layer to really give a vanilla punch. And then I'm going to add some gelatin. I have 1 teaspoon of gelatin, dry gelatin, and I'm going to add just enough water. That's a tablespoon of water. Stir that in. Let that blossoming. Okay. Very good. Okay, so now my whipped cream has started to form what I call soft peaks. Notice how that's still dripping off. We're going to add the flour, or excuse me, not the flour, the confectionery sugar to that. Vanilla and the gelatin that I've dissolved in water. Turn that on. Let that go. Once those have incorporated, now 8 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese. This is going to make it so creamy and delicious. You're not going to be able to stand it. You know you have a good recipe when the cameraman can barely stop from sticking his fingers in the things that you're making. Start out slow so you don't wear it. And then crank that baby right up on high. Now this has been mixing for all of maybe 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. Nice and stiff. Don't forget to scrape down your bowl on occasion. make sure that's incorporated. And once you think that it's smooth, here's off. Shake them out. Keep them handy because they're going back on. Okay, I'm going to take half of this and add it to the top of the fudge layer of this pie. Cream cheese fudge. And like I say, I wanted this layer to give it a punch. Okay. Now, I have in this bowl half a cup of 63% chocolate chips. I'm going to add to the whipped cream. It's all melted. I started it. It only took a couple minutes to melt the chocolate. And we'll put the beater back on. And let that mix. Scrape the bowl from time to time. Now, on the stove you'll notice while this mixes, let me just give that one little swish. Alright. In this pot here, I have 1/4 cup of heavy cream that I've started to heat. And to that I'm going to add 1/4 cup of chips. We're going to let that melt. Okay, while that's melting, you'll notice this layer is all yummy. So I'm going to add the chocolate layer to the top of the vanilla layer. Smooth that all out nice. And then the chips that are melted. Stir that really good. And then you pour that on top. Smooth it out. Okay. Top with 2 tablespoons of my almonds. Pop it in the fridge. I just happen to have one that I made. And I'm going to plate it up. This is gorgeous. This is yummy. The cameraman's dying for a taste. This is my 3-layer chocolate cream pie. Now I can't imagine anybody wouldn't want a taste of this. This is wonderful. Thank you, Philadelphia.